All right, y'all. Thank y'all for tuning in. This is the Kentucky game preview and prediction. And if you've not subscribed yet, please subscribe to my page. Really appreciate it. I love doing this, and I'd love to see I'd love to see me get some more subscribers. So anyway, if you could do that, I would greatly appreciate it. But anyway, let's look at these two teams. Two teams that they have identical records. Kentucky is 5-2. Tennessee is 5-2. They both played 7 games. Kentucky is coming off a bye week, and they've been able to heal up. And obviously, I'm sure Mark Stoops has had them kind of working on some stuff that they've struggled with so far to kind of fix for this Tennessee game. Tennessee's coming off the Alabama game where they lost 34-20. And really was in firm control for the first half of the game and just had a horrendous second half. Kentucky's last game a couple weeks ago, they played against Missouri. They lost 38-21. So both these teams are coming off games in which they lost, and they're trying to get back on the winning side of things. So anyway. Let's look at the stats on both these teams. Tennessee's total offense versus Kentucky's total defense. Tennessee's total offense is 33rd in the country. They are averaging 438.1 yards a game. Kentucky's total defense is 49th. They are 300. They're giving up 346.6 yards a game. Kentucky, so their defense is respectful. Tennessee has the slight edge in that matchup. Tennessee's total defense versus Kentucky's total offense. Tennessee's total defense is 17th in the country, giving up 310.9 yards a game. Kentucky's total offense is 91st. They are averaging 352.1 yards a game. So Tennessee has the advantage on that. One thing that hurts Kentucky on their offense, though, is they're a team that likes to grind the clock, time management, so they're not really fast-paced like Tennessee is, trying to get as many plays in as humanly possible. So that it's not completely clear when you show those stats like that. So it hurts them that they take up so much clock when they're driving the football. Tennessee scoring offense versus Kentucky scoring defense. Tennessee scoring offense, they are 43rd. They are averaging 31.6 points a game. Kentucky scoring defense is 55th. They are giving up 23.5 points a game. So Tennessee's offense has the edge on that, but this is a Tennessee offense that's well below the average of what we did last year. Last year we ended the season averaging around 46 points a game, and we're 15 points below that. But anyway, Tennessee, looks like they do have the edge in that matchup. Tennessee scoring defense versus Kentucky scoring offense. Tennessee scoring defense is 27th. They are giving up 19.4 points a game. Kentucky scoring offense is 44th. They are averaging 31.3 points a game, that's pretty good. And like I just said before, Kentucky likes to grind the clock, time possession. So they're not really scoring at a net break pace. But I think you would still say Tennessee has the advantage in that matchup. Tennessee's passing offense versus Kentucky passing defense. And as bad as Tennessee is in this, they still have the edge. Tennessee is 75th. They are averaging 220.9 yards a game through the air. They're coming off a game against Alabama where they had one of the better games. Joe Milton threw for around 270 yards. We were averaging, I think, last week we were around the same. We're averaging about 220, so he was 50 yards over what he normally does. Kentucky's passing defense now, they're horrendous. 106th in the country. They are giving up on average 250.9 yards a game through the air. So if Joe Milton, if he can't throw it on this bunch, then he's, there's no hope. So because this is as bad as it gets. Kentucky has really struggled to stop teams from throwing the football. I've watched them a little bit this year in Vanderbilt and Florida. They both had a lot of success when I watched them throwing the football on Kentucky. So that is another edge. Even though Tennessee's been bad throwing the football, I still think they have the clear edge over Kentucky in this matchup as well. Tennessee's rush offense versus Kentucky's rush defense. Now this will be the one the one thing to be looking at in this game. These are two really good units, and they're both each team's best unit on the field, and that would be Kentucky's defensive line, linebacking core, front seven versus Tennessee's running backs, offensive line. Going head to head in this game. Tennessee's rush offense is 7th in the country. They are averaging 217.3 yards a game. Kentucky's rush defense is 12th. They are limiting teams to 95.7 yards a game on the ground. That's phenomenal. Anything under 100 yards on the ground is really, really good. Tennessee last week struggled. Alabama in the second half really shut Tennessee's rushing game down. Limited Tennessee to 130 yards rushing, which was 100 yards below their average. And this Kentucky defense, they're in that same, in my opinion, they can do the same thing that Alabama can. So Tennessee has to be able to throw the football against Kentucky. Or it could be a lot of trouble because, as you see by the stats, Kentucky's defense, they could definitely shut our running game down. I could see that. So anyway, that will be the matchup in this game to look at to see who gets the edge in that. Tennessee's pass defense versus Kentucky's pass offense. Tennessee's pass defense is 36th. They're limiting teams to 201 yards a game through the air. Kentucky's pass offense is just awful. It's 103rd in the country. They're averaging 196.7 yards a game. Devin Leary has really struggled. I think Kentucky fans will tell you he has not lived up to the billing of what they were going to get out of him. He come out of NC State in the portal this past offseason, and I think most people thought, and I think even on my preview I said that he was probably one of the top one of the top quarterbacks in the portal. He was really good at NC State. So, and I could be wrong, but I think he was like the ACC MVP or something back in like 2021. So this comes at a very big surprise that he struggled like he has this year. He's struggled with accuracy and the whole 9 yards. And so let's look now at Tennessee's rush defense versus Kentucky's rush offense. Tennessee's rush defense is 24th in the country, limiting teams to 109.9 yards a game on the ground. Really good numbers. Last week they limited Bama to about 138 yards, so that's decent. Kentucky's rush offense is 66th. They are averaging 155.4 yards a game. I hope I'm saying his name right, but I think his name's Davis. Really good running back. I watched him a lot in the Florida game. He has a lot of power. He runs with authority. And if we don't watch it, he could have a really big day against us. So it will be interesting to look at that matchup as well. But it looks like Tennessee has the edge in that matchup. So anyway, now let's look at the turnovers. And how these teams have done 7 games into the season as far as turnovers are concerned. Tennessee is 44th in the country in regard to turnovers. They're +2 on the season. Kentucky is 53rd. They're +1. So they're really, really close on that. Penalties so far, both of these teams are as bad as it gets when it comes to penalties. Very undisciplined. Both these teams are. Tennessee's 115th in the country. They are averaging 67 yards a game in penalties. Kentucky's slightly worse than Tennessee is. They're 117th, and they're giving up around 68 yards in penalties, or they're averaging 68 yards in penalties. So both these teams very undisciplined, making bad decisions and bad. I mean, I watched Kentucky play Georgia, and they really moved the ball against Georgia, but made stupid penalty after stupid penalty. Tennessee, I'm not even going to talk about the Alabama game because I thought most of the penalties against us in the Alabama game were just not real. I thought they were just bogus calls. But if you look at the Texas A&M game, those were legit calls where Tennessee was holding and doing a lot of stupid things, and we were lucky to win that game because I think we had like 115 yards worth of penalties in that game. So really struggled this year on penalties. So anyway, this gets me to the prediction of this game. Kentucky has a couple things going for them in this game. They got the revenge factor. It's a home game, and they're coming off a bye week. But this game does not match up well as far as matchups, and football is a game of matchups. And it, like I said, it does not match up well for Kentucky. Tennessee, in my opinion, has the clear edge in almost every aspect of this game. I think Kentucky would have to play a perfect game to beat Tennessee. And it's not that Tennessee's that great. I don't think we're a great team. I think we're just slightly better than average, honestly. But I just think we match up better against them than they match up against us. And I think Kentucky will not score over 20 points. I really don't, especially with how their offense is slow and methodical, and they really like to take their time. So the only way Kentucky has a chance at winning this game, in my opinion, is if we make turnovers, have penalties, and that kind of thing. But and what I think the final score in this game is going to be, I think the final score is going to be Tennessee 31, Kentucky 17. I think Tennessee wins by double digits. I do. I could be wrong. Kentucky may come out and just whoop our hind end. It wouldn't surprise me because this Tennessee team has been so up and down this year. You really don't know what you're going to get out of them. Like the Alabama game, they come out and they're winning 20-7, and they turn around and give up 27 consecutive points. So, and then the Florida game, play a horrible first half, and then they play good the second half. So, what Tennessee team is going to show up? Who knows? But I do think Tennessee wins 31-17, and I think that will put us at 6-2. And then we will get to play UConn, and then have a break in SEC action before we play Missouri. But anyway, I do expect this to be a very highly competitive game. I expect both teams to play very hard, but I think at the end of the day, Tennessee gets the job done and goes up to Lexington and gets a win. But anyway, let's see how it goes, and let's hope Tennessee comes out with a victory. But anyway, I will talk to y'all later. Go Vols.